Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizano, and you are listening to another episode of the world famous, the University of Love, the best podcast in one, two, three galaxies. But, ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves, and we are coming to you live today. Ladies and gents, it is Friday, January, June the 6th. 2025, ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing today? We have a jam-packed show. We have a very important show for you today. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. In a shocking turn of events, Elon Musk and Trump, two marketing titans, okay, have turned on each other. This is worse than when Hulk Hogan and Macho Man broke up. The mega powers exploded, and now we got Trump versus Elon. Um, who's gonna win this marketing battle? Who's gonna win this explosion? And ladies and gentlemen, this is why you need to economy proof yourself, okay? Because as you see, ladies and gentlemen, the United States of America, we are cooked, okay? It was just 6, 7 months ago, a year ago maybe. Elon Musk was ringing the bell for Trump. Trump this, Trump that. Trump should be president. Trump is the greatest candidate we got. Blah 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 blah. And now Elon Musk is like, oh, I don't believe Trump and his whole tax bill, and that's not good. And then Trump said, oh man, I'm disappointed in Elon. And Elon turned back around and he said, hey. Trump been hanging out with Epstein. Now we talk about Epstein files and Trump and Elon and SpaceX and Tesla. And is Elon doing this because Tesla stock is in the toilet, or it's billionaire versus billionaire crime? But ladies and gents, um, I tell you, this is all smoke and mirrors, okay? You gotta focus on, and this is going to be one of the things of the show moving forward. At the end of the day, ladies and gents, boys and girls, children of all ages, you gotta focus on you, baby, okay? Man, you can't worry about Trump, you can't worry about Musk, Bezos, uh, Warren Buffett, Oprah, Jay Z. You can't be worried about all these celebrities. And I know in America, man, we love to whore on celebrities. Oh, this celebrity does this and this celebrity does that. And Beyonce, all that jazz. Ladies and gents, the more you got to focus on your business, okay? Your business. What is your business? What are you going to do? How are you going to make money? How are you going to improve your life? How are you going to economy proof yourself from all these people? Listen, because money, I don't care what people say. Listen, I know people talk about the economy being bad, blah, 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 and all that, but man, people still spending money. Let me tell you something. Prostitution is at an all-time high. People are always going to be find ways to come up with some money to pay for sex, go to strip clubs, this, that, and the other. You got all these girls on OnlyFans. They're making some money. You know, uh, people have money. Okay, people are people are still going to buy products. People are still going to buy services. People are still going to take trips. It's just, what are you going to do to how are you going to find your way in this new economy? Because this is a new economy, okay? Listen, the days of going to work at a job for 30 years, hey, it's going out the window. Number one, these people always. I'll give you a prime example. WWE is under new management, and WWE, they just cut one of their popular wrestlers. Okay, is he the greatest superstar in the world? No, but he's been there for almost like 20 years. This guy, R Truth. He's great. You see him sometimes, you laugh, you chuckle, you're like, man, look at Truth. I'm glad Truth is still around, you know. And when I was watching wrestling, you would have guys like, R Truth or the Brooklyn Brawler, or people like that. People that, yeah, they not at the top of the chart, but they was just there. They was with the company. You're like, oh, it's cool, man. That they've been there for 20 years, 30 years. Nah, man. Or truth, I guess they offer him a little a pay cut, and he was like, "Come on, man. I've been doing this for y'all. Y'all gonna do me like that?" And they cut him loose, and it's just how it is now. You got Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau, he took the sorry Knicks, the no good Knicks, okay? The Knicks are trash. The Knicks have been a trash organization since Cash Money took over for the 99 and 2000. Yeah, they went to the finals. I remember they had a exciting run in 99, whatever the strikes shortened season was. They had an exciting run, but man, the Knicks are garbage, okay? They are a useless organization in the NBA. They're only propped up because they are in the New York media market. The NBA in general is trash. Me and my friend was having a discussion. He was like, "Man, the NBA is like the most toxic organization when it comes to sports because they all backbite, they all talk bad about each other. You got JJ Redick saying plumbers. Oh, people in the '60s play with plumbers. You got people from the '70s and '80s. They're like, oh, these kids are soft. Even though, listen, all kids now are way more athletic than. If you're my age, I'm 46. you know, Man, these kids now, man, they are way more athletic than we ever could be. It's just time, science, nutrition, all that. It's cool. It's I mean, man, you love to see it. Now, the only thing I think about the NBA is the NBA IQ is seems like it has went down. Okay. Other than that, the athleticism is at an all time high. These kids are great. But I think it seems like the NBA IQ just, you just see sometimes you see superstar players just make it like it's like, come on, man. But that's neither here nor there. But there's a lot of backbiting in the NBA. The NBA is man, it's cooked, man. I don't you know. And then the NBA, they rely so much on the coast, L.A., New York. Come on, man. They got two great teams in there. Indiana, Oklahoma, small market. Nah, they not gonna be like, hey, come watch these great teams. They're gonna be like, I wish they was playing in Boston or something. But the, hey, I say all that just to say, you gotta focus on you, man. You gotta get your business together because these companies. Yeah, the NBA they hire and fire coaches now because they paying them a little more money. They quick to fire them. Mike Malone lost a job. He won a championship. Um, Coach Budenholzer, he won at Milwaukee a championship. He got fired. They churn him out quick. Times are changing, and in this economy, in this world, this America we live in, it's different. You need to learn skills. You need to learn skills on your own. You need to learn how to create your own money. We talked about this before. You need to learn how to create your own money tree. You got to create your own money tree. It's just the way it is. I know. People tell you all the time, "Oh, I don't know." They act scared. They act nervous. I had a cousin. I love him to death. He's like, I wanted to create content. It's like, brother, just start creating. I I've really started focusing and honing in, and I'm just like, you know what? We're gonna build this thing. We're gonna get copywriting clients. And we're gonna make that happen. We're gonna build up this affiliate marketing business. And we are going to do everything that we want to do, and it's just the way it is. And whether or not somebody watches or they don't like it, they do like it, they don't like it, doesn't matter to me. But I am here to create podcasts. I am to create, to write. Now we're doing more writing than we are, as I told you yesterday. I love doing the podcast, but you know, I really don't care for the TikTok and the YouTube. You got to do it, you know what I mean? But it's not really my. I like making videos. We're gonna make more videos about affiliate marketing, and so this podcast is about affiliate marketing, digital marketing. But I'm telling you all this because Trump, Musk. You can't trust none of these people. You can't trust the government. You can't trust the celebrities. Listen, as I'm a black person in America, you can't trust other black people. Oh man, we gotta do. I saw where this pastor Jamal Bryant, he called out Cardi B because Cardi B shopped at Target, and he's like, they went away with DEI, but DEI, who cares about DEI, man? Who cares about I know. Listen, should you have the right, you have the ability to hire whoever you want, and if you're a publicly traded company, United States of America, yeah, you shouldn't just be racist, just out and out racist. But DEI, they put a lot of that stuff they put a lot of that stuff in place, and it's just it does a lot of hampering too, you know what I mean? Because people just dependent, they're like, oh, I should get that job because I'm a woman, or I'm black, or I'm Asian, or I'm whatever, and when you fall into the DEI trap, man, it's just don't be relying on that stuff, man. It's you know you are good on your own merit. That's one thing that some black people, and it's unfortunate. I don't want to get into race, but some black people, they are so in love with white people on the low. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is, oh, we should, they look at white people as God. They treat them as God, which is weird. And you have white people who love to just keep up with black people for some reason. Listen, I got a I have a sister-in-law. She's not black. I love her to death. We don't sit around and stare at each other and be like, "Oh, you're milky, creamy white skin," or whatever. And she's not like, "Oh, you're black skin." We love each other. We have a great time. Matter of fact, we saw each other in April. We took the kids miniature golfing. It was me and her, and my nephew and my child, and we all went. We went to the mall. We went out to eat, and I wasn't thinking the whole time, man, this milky white, that's not the focus. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, there's a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people who don't care about race, man. I saw a lady. I was in Tampa. She just, she hopped out the car. She hugged this lady. It was a black lady. It was a white lady, and nobody said, I can't believe I'm hugging this white woman." Nothing like that. But there are the people that have the biggest microphone. They scream the most about racism, 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 which is it's a weird, it's a weird thing. It's a weird, because come on, man, you are not your listen. My mom and my dad, they're a lot tougher than me. Okay, mentally, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we are more people. People now, people are getting more and more athletic. Don't get me wrong, but mentally tough, hell no. Okay, hell no. My parents, they're mentally tough. Your grandparents, your parents, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter the race. Doesn't matter the nationality, the creed. Does not matter. They grew up in them times, in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. Those are tough people, man. They had to walk more. They had to, it was not, hey man, call up Domino's and order some pizza, dog. There's none of that going on, okay? It, it's it's easier times, no matter what, no matter if you're poor or rich, okay? Times are easier for all of us, okay? So let's cut that out. But what I'm telling you is it's a different time now, You want to have the ability, if you want to wake up and don't be don't and if you want to wake up and not always be on the TikTok and be on the, oh, let me worry about what's going on with the housewives of Atlanta and all this type of nonsense. If you really want to learn a skill, you really want to learn how to, make money online from digital marketing, affiliate marketing, then, I'm going to leave a link below and and to help you get started. Because listen, they are listen, just like in trucking, they are trying to bring robots. Listen, we are this is a I tell people, you know, I did this for 20 years. This is a underpaying job. It's an underpaying job that if you want to make decent money, you have to spend a lot of time in the truck. Okay. You have to spend an enormous amount of time in the truck. And I remember, as I told you before, one of the best days is when, we doing more videos, we doing more for the to get more ad revenue, and just think, the content you keep producing, the content you keep making, the affiliate links that you have, that you talk about, that you speak about, you write about, you tell people about, they can go back and find your video. Because when you get more popular, we all know what happens. You get more popular, people want to go back and they want to see your old stuff. They want to see, how'd you get started? When did you get started? I had 900 something episodes of online marketing moves, and we're gonna get more and more popular. And I'm gonna look back, and there're gonna be more people, starting from episode one, to the episode one. Then the day after that, I had my daughter. I think I recorded an episode to now. They are going to go through a lot of them episodes. It's just the way it is. So the content you produce, the things that you do for yourself, it's nobody can take that away. Job you go to, hey, you do the 8 hours, you get paid, you go home. That's it. You can't make any money from that. But if you learn this skill and this trade about, really focusing on making money, you know, learning a skill online, then you definitely can reap the rewards, reap the benefits. Okay. So, ladies and gents, that being said, I'm going to leave the link below. Check it out. Learn about digital marketing. Okay. And of course, as you well know, if you click on the link, sign up. I will be getting affiliate commissions. So we have to let that be known for the legalities, because we don't want you never evers to be crying about, oh, he didn't tell me this or he didn't tell me that. Okay. But ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you for listening. Um, yeah, don't worry about Trump or Elon. Just focus on what you can do. Focus on controlling your economical growth. And until next time, and in between time, my name is Tony Rizano. Thank you for listening. God bless each and every one of you. And as always, everybody, peace.